Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with my review of the recently released film Peppermint. First off, what's the movie about? It's about a woman becoming a vigilante 5 years after the killings of her husband and daughter by a group of gangbangers who do not get prosecuted due in part to corruption in the justice system where she lives. I found it to be it's a decent vengeance-fueled popcorn action flick. Doesn't require much thought. It's not really saying nothing. All right, so who's in it? At least of note. Jennifer Garner plays Riley North. She's a former bank clerk, mother and wife turned vigilante. John Gallagher Jr. plays Detective Carmichael. He's the detective investigating the killing of Riley's husband and daughter, and later gets brought in on Riley's activities. John Ortiz is Detective Beltran. It's hard to say if he's Carmichael's superior or his partner, or they're just or if they're just two homicide detectives that are friends. It's not really all that clear. Juan Pablo Raba as Diego Garcia, the drug lord who orders the killing of Riley's husband. That's a plot point that pops up early on. Annie Alonza as FBI agent Lisa Inman, FBI agent investigating Riley. Eddie Shin is FBI agent Lee, who's Agent Inman's partner. Kaylee Fleming is Carly North, Riley's daughter. She, even with the fact that she's killed in the first act of the movie, she's actually in quite a bit of the movie, mainly as hallucinations. And we'll get to Jeff Hefner as Chris North, Riley's husband, who, in an effort to try and get some more money to potentially put her basically house his family in a better home. At one point agrees to be a getaway driver in while stealing from a drug lord. However, he changes his mind before it can happen, but by the time he's changed his mind, the drug lord, the aforementioned Garcia, has found out that he is part of the crew. And I feel I should mention him mainly just because he's probably the second biggest name in the entire movie. Method Man as narcotics detective Barker. He's a narcotics detective who pops up in the latter half of the film. I mean, he's never mentioned before this. It's just it's 50-50 as to whether or not he should have popped up at all before that point. But the point he does pop up, it does make sense for him to do so. All right, so as spoiler-free a breakdown as I can do, we'll be breaking into the film's acts. Act 1, mostly a flashback establishing Riley's backstory. You see her daughter is basically a Girl Scout. She works in a bank. Her husband works in a garage. The whole thing with being a getaway driver to rob a drug lord comes up. And on the daughter's birthday, they because nobody comes to the party. They decide, hey, okay, you know what? We're gonna have our own party. We're gonna do pizza. We're gonna go to the carnival thing. We're gonna and ice cream. It's gonna be awesome. In fact, the ice cream part is actually where the film's title comes from, as her daughter orders, or as Carly orders peppermint ice cream, hence Peppermint. The family, the dad and the daughter some gangers roll up, start firing at the dad and the daughter. They, when Riley gets in the range, they're firing on her as well. All three take hits, but Riley survives. She's comatose for a little while, for a couple days. When she comes to, or well, a few days to a week, we'll call it that. She picks out the 3 guys that did it. Remember, that's them. Before the trial, she's got an eviction notice from her home, presumably because now, with just her income, the rent can't be paid. I'm presuming it's obviously it's a rental. Oh, excuse me. But an attorney played by Sebastian Stan drops by, tries to pay her off. Just like, hey, just go, go away. This goes away. Everything goes away. And here's some money, so to help with it going. Oh, you're on some medications, huh? That helps. That gets brought up in the arraignment, and the judge says, nobody. Even as she tries to explain, she hasn't taken the pills. She was prescribed them, but she hasn't taken them. The DA, the judge, they're not listening. Obviously, the defense attorney is, just like, yeah, no. He's just like, whatever. And so he whatevers. Act 2 picks up 5 years later. Over the course of a single day, the 5th anniversary, in fact, of her the deaths of her husband and daughter, she goes after Garcia's operation, as well as the judge, the lawyer, the DA. Yeah, we don't see her go after the lawyer and the DA. We do see her go after the judge. There's also some backstory brought up, namely that she's apparently been in town for 3 months. And she stole some guns a few nights ago by driving a truck into the front of a gun store. But she's been off the grid for about 5 years. When Inman and Lee get together with Carmichael and Beltran, I can actually remember Beltran's name a lot easier than Carmichael's. I don't know why, but like I said, when Inman and Lee get together with Carmichael and Beltran, it's like, okay, here's the information we've got. From the last 5 years of her life, and it's not much. Then Act 3, Garcia attempts a counterattack, which leads to Riley attacking Garcia at home and Garcia escaping. In the meanwhile, Inman finds Riley's base of operations in LA's Skid Row, which gets passed along to Carmichael. Act 4, and it could you could say Act 4 is what I'm calling Act 4 is actually Act 4 and Act 5, but final conflict between Riley and Garcia. The film is actually left open for a sequel, which I wouldn't entirely be against, but I think it tells its story pretty well. So the ups and downs of the movie. Ups, very straightforward. Like I said, it's not something you have to think about. It's like, okay, here, this is what happened. Pretty much anything you can get, anything that gets brought up. There's a saying: if you put a gun in the drawer in Act 1, you use it by the end of Act 3. Yeah. Everything that gets brought up is followed up on, and like, okay, this is how this thing we mentioned earlier. Here's what happened. I think there's more just to establish that she's all about, she wants to see children taken care of by their parents. There is a scene with her ambushing a drunk at a liquor store and basically saying, okay, hey, here's how it's going to be. You're taking you're not going to buy booze. You're going to take your son Christmas shopping, and it's going to be the greatest Christmas of his life. And you're going to be there for him, and all this. And then she also tells the guy at the liquor store, if you ever sell that guy booze again, I'm going to burn this place to the ground with you in it. That doesn't really get followed up on too much. It's that scene, you never see any of those characters again. The action scenes I thought were really well shot. There are moments that have some confusion to them, but it's more just to show the confusion of what's going on. It's still kind of okay. I get what's going, okay. I get what's going on. It's a little, but yeah, I get what okay. There was a point when I thought one of Garcia's high-level henchmen had been killed earlier, but it turned out to still be alive. My guess is just there's a further. This is shot. But I really liked the cast. I thought everyone played their part well. There was no role where I was like, you could have gotten anybody else to do this role and it would have been better. No, everyone was, So, the downs. I mentioned it's straightforward. It's all, like I said, it's by the numbers. There are no huge twists or huge surprises. There are surprises that are kind of, you pretty much figure out that certain things are going to be revealed by the end of the movie. 5 years seems an awful short amount of time to learn the skills that Riley exhibits as well. Hey, yeah, she can be. I'm totally okay with the idea that over 5 years she learned how to kick ass and take names, and beat the shit out of people. But also to become, a beyond competent marksman. If they had stated that she had prior military experience, I would not even be bringing this up. Because it was like, oh, yeah. She took her military skills and then, the skills she had in the military, and then, got better at them over that 5 years. Makes sense. but with it doesn't. There's yeah. It seems convenient that suddenly she's this great shot. She knows, and I mean, yeah, she knows all this stuff. I mean, she doesn't. It's not like she's making bombs or anything, but and she is. She's not the world's greatest fighter. Hell, right in the very beginning, she gets cut in the leg, and it affects her throughout the movie because she's having a limp to a degree, to varying degrees. Now I mentioned her daughter shows up quite a bit. A lot of the times, it is very obvious that she's hallucinating her daughter, because obviously she is not over the deaths of her daughter and husband. But there's one particular point where it almost seems like they just say, "Okay, yeah, that's her daughter. Her daughter's ghost is popping up. It has popped up at least this time." And it was kind of jarring. I mean, it didn't entirely take me out of the film, but it was just kind of no. My overall opinion, it is formulaic by the numbers, but it is primarily saved by good action scenes and fairly solid performances. It's not for the faint of heart. It's worth watching if you're a fan of revenge action movies. In fact, I would actually say if you liked The Punisher on Netflix, give this a shot. Riley, the character of Riley, reminds me especially of a character from the Greg Rucka run on The Punisher a few years ago. Let's see. Let me see what we could. Rachel Cole Alves. She was a Marine who survived a mob hit and ended up becoming an ally of the Punishers. But like I said, it almost seems to me like the scriptwriters had pitched Marvel Studios a movie or Netflix thing concerning Rachel Cole Alves, where they're like, no, we want to kind of focus on Frank at least for a while. And they took their pitch and just kind of reworked it a bit and shopped it around and got the money. It's a popcorn flick. Oh God, I was mentioned I had to come up with some kind of rating system. I guess we'll do I would give it probably a solid 3 out of 5 on a 1 to 5 scale. I'd say it ranks at a 3. It's not some life-changing movie or anything, but it's also not something that you're gonna feel like you just wasted an hour and a half of your life watching. There's a good chance that if it's not too pricey when it comes out on Blu-ray, I might just buy it just to see if anything, to see what the special features are. Well, if it's got decent special features at least. Anyway, all I got for today. Should be doing another video either tomorrow. It's gonna be tomorrow or Tuesday. Definitely Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications of when I put up new videos. God, I have to remember to say that one. Let's see. This is links to my social media and Patreon are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.